So you want to build a personal brand, but a lot of people tend to focus on the wrong thing. Most people tend to focus on followers instead of leverage. And in this video, I'm going to share with you 10 practical tips that you don't usually hear that's actually going to help you build. This is going to allow you to build a strong foundation into turning your brand into a success. So the first thing that I'm going to talk about is build a brand around a skill and not your lifestyle. So what I mean by this is that a lot of people are unsure of how to start out. They decide to post themselves doing a bunch of random different things. There's no clear structure, there's no clear format of exactly what they're trying to get out of their personal brand. They're just thinking that because it's personal, I'm going to pretty much just post anything. And that's where a lot of people tend to go wrong. And the truth is that a lot of people don't actually care about your life, like in the most respectable way possible. They don't really care. And what you want to do is build a brand and film content around the skills that you already have. For example, if you're already good at photography, you're going to build a brand around your photography. If you're good at speaking, if you're good at drawing, if you're good at fitness, if you're good at marketing even, or real estate, whatever you are strongest and have an advantage in, that's exactly what you're going to build your personal brand around. You build your brand around teaching people the business and how they can get better at increasing their sales, increasing their customer rate. Most importantly, how you can retain those customers so that you are never and they are never looking or searching or digging for that next dollar. Your personal brand should be attached to a skill that you can eventually monetize. And the reason why a lot of people press skills, and the reason why I'm talking to you about skills, is because skills is what attracts clients and your lifestyle content attracts viewers. They are two separate different things. The second step that I'm going to talk about is you need to build a proof vault. And this is something that most people don't really talk about. Like, have you ever been in a situation where you need a service or you need a product and you're unsure of if you can go with this person or you can go with that person or this business? It's simply because there's not enough proof of concept. There's not enough proof of concept for you to be like, okay, I'm going to invest or give this person my time or money or even go on a consultation call with them. And if you're starting out, it's very important that you build that level of proof. So how you're going to do this is literally, if you have an Instagram, which you should definitely have, or even a TikTok, whatever social media platform that you're using, in your highlighted section, you need to have where your client testimonials and results are going to be. This is what's going to take you from looking like just a beginner. People like to see screenshots of client results. People like to see before and after if you're into the construction space. People like to see wins and transformations if you're in the fitness space. You need to make it very evident, I can actually help you and here is what I have done. And it doesn't just have to be Instagram. That could even just be you making a Google folder of where your testimonials are at, so that when someone is interested in your services or just interested in being or working with you, you're able to quickly send off, here is what I've done, here is what you can expect. Step 3, as you're building your personal brand, you need to be known for one thing. And this is very important because you don't want to just be known as this entrepreneur, this investor, this fitness person, this content creator. You don't want to be known for that. What you want to be known as, for example, if you're into marketing, you want to be known as the person who helps construction companies get more leads, get more clients, increase their cash flow. He or she is somebody that helps people lose weight. I'm not saying that they're just a fitness coach. It's saying exactly what they are, what they do, what they are known for. So that's a very important factor to know. Or even if you're a photographer, you know, you don't want to be known as you're just an ordinary photographer. What you want to be known as is that you're a photographer that helps Airbnb hosts increase their occupancy rate. Because once people know you for one thing, that's when the ROI becomes easier for you. Step 4, as you're starting to build out your personal brand, it's very important that you build your network before you need it. What that means is what you're going to do is message 5 people that are ahead of you, 5 people that are at your level, and 5 potential clients. Now that might have gone over your head, but what this is essentially doing is building your connection, building the people that are around you and giving yourself a strong foundation. You need to understand that as you're building your personal brand, it's not about trying to get the most views or trying to be the most known for what you do. That's not what it is. Being the most known is very important and it can give you an insane amount of leverage, but building your network is far more important. And remember this, one good connection is better than 100,000 views. Opportunities come from people. Step 5, turn your content into asset. Turn your content into asset. And this is why I preach that it's not just about building a personal brand and posting recklessly and freely. You know, people say just post whatever. it's not about posting whatever, because this is an investment. Every piece of content means something to your page, but most people forget that. But at your profile page is not where it ends. It's not the final destination. And a tip for you is that once you start to build a following, is to create a newsletter, to start building out your email list. You can have your followers, but if your account gets deleted, where are your contacts? That is completely gone. If you've now built yourself an email list, you will always have those people's contacts, but you'll be able to send out people who are genuinely interested in you special offers. You know, they feel like they're gonna be more connected to you because you could host events or webinars, or let's just say events and webinars for people who are genuinely interested in you. And that's how you build an audience of people that's going to know, like, and trust you. Now, here's a very important part. You're not just building a personal brand just because you want to. You're building a personal brand because you're trying to make an income at the same time. Now, there is nothing wrong with that. But how you go ahead and do this now, and the biggest thing that you need to focus on is solving expensive problems. Making more money doesn't mean making more content. Making more money means is solving problems that people are willing to pay high amounts of money for. For example, if it's your marketing, you don't need to make more content on how to do marketing. You need to create now. You've already got the proof. You've already made proof of concept for them. You now need to build a product or service that's going to allow people to be like, you know what, it is a lot of money, but I believe that this person is exactly who I'm looking for, and I should invest in them because I believe that they're going to help me. That's how you make more money with it. It's not about making more content. It's about then using your content as leverage, as a stepping stone to now solve people's problems. Again, it can go down to the things that you're already good at. If that's photography, if that's marketing, if that's if that's fitness, all of those are expensive problems for people in one way or another. And now you need to then build a product or service that's going to help solve those problems for people. And that's how you're gonna make some more money. Now, step 8, the next thing you're going to do is definitely start documenting everything. Document yourself calling people, document yourself in the gym. People like to see the background works. Now, this isn't posting and filming randomly, because as you're creating this content of you doing these random things, you're also talking over the video and showing why you're putting this, that there's a reason why you're showing these things. It's because you're trying to build a connection. It's not just random. And people fall in love with documented content because you're not just someone who's sitting there talking, but you're also doing what they're supposed to be doing at the same time. If you're now building your personal brand and also telling people that you need to do cold calling and how to get better at cold calling, you would also document yourself cold calling, because that's how you're going to build that connection of, hold on a second, this guy or this girl is also doing it as well. And this is what makes your content more authentic. Now, step 9, create an offer before chasing a following. Now, a lot of people who are starting out their personal brand journey is that they focus on, how can I make money? How can I do this? How can I get more eyeballs on me? Because they believe that's how they're going to make more money. No, the first thing that you need to focus on is, what expensive problem can you solve? We're going back to the previous step. You need to focus on building a product or service that people are going to be willing to pay for, and then building your content around that. And that's what's going to make you, and that's what's going to allow you to make content a lot more freely without thinking, what do I post? What do I do? Because you're going to build a product or service that you know that you can only solve. So therefore, when you're creating that content, you're going to be able to create content in a flow state, if you understand where I'm coming from. Because from that day, it doesn't matter if you haven't hit the monetization limit on YouTube, or if you haven't hit the criteria of TikTok or Instagram or whatever platform it may be, you'll be able to make revenue from day one. Because if someone reaches out to you and says, I need to be invested in your services because you're talking about this, you're talking about that, you're documenting, and you have nothing to show, you have no service, it's like, oh, you're just creating content. Like, what services do you have? And that's what allows you to, and that's what's going to cause you to miss out on revenue opportunities. So start creating your service first before you focus on building or chasing followers. And number 10, you need to focus on building a reputation and not just a following. Build a brand that people can be like, this person is good, this person is trustworthy. You want to build a reputation that people can know, like, and trust you. So those are the main steps of how to build your personal brand if you're just starting out. And you want to remember that you're building a brand so that opportunities can still find you whilst you're asleep. Now, go ahead and implement those steps, and I'll see you in the next video. And that's a wrap.